Hi, I'm Nolan. Welcome to another Nolen Walker show. And today I want to talk about why people get organic done. This is the Show Me the Money show. By the time people are here, I think you understand organic and mapping and the benefits of it. And people call up and don't understand it. And so if you are paying for clicks and paying thousands per month, and some people don't pay that much, but a lot of people do. I mean, it's really hard for us to find a client that doesn't spend $1,000 a month on a pay-per-click account if they do that still. Some of them might spend 15 or 20,000 in a major market for a major category. So if your click that you paid for, which is the best, most relevant thing, was $1 a decade ago, which it was, and now it's $15, and in 3 years it'll be 30. And this is all pretty average stuff. This isn't overblowing it. So it was $1. Now the average client that we see pays 15, and then yes, it looks like they'll pay about 30 in 3 or 4 years. If you have a great website and a great web presence, which wouldn't just be your design, it would be your internal blog and your different aspects of social media and your mapping, then all that together would be your web presence, and you would work on it to drive in visitors and unique clicks and hopefully phone calls or emails and new clients. That is much less expensive if done properly, which it's usually not. So if you have a great web team and you get up really high in organic and mapping and your social media starts to thrive, then you pay pennies on the dollar compared to paying for a click. Is paying for clicks bad? No, it's not at all. In fact, we do pay-per-click management campaigns here, and it can be a healthy part of something. Is it the first dollar that one would spend? Typically, no. If you had a brand new website, then you might, because brand new .coms don't typically have the ability to do well immediately in the organic search rankings, immediately being 90 days or less. So our typical client is happy, pretty darn happy in 90 days or less, but they would come to us with a domain that they've had up for a year or more, and if they've been up for 5 or 10 years, it tends to do better. But somebody's had a seasoned domain will do well, but if you have a brand new one, then a lot of times you have to start with PPC or pay-per-click. So having said all that, is pay-per-click's fine, but it's the benchmark that you judge it against. So creme de la creme SEO services, we are literally 1/2, 1/3 as much easily said than what that would be. So if you can get a good deal, then your organic effort as a result of the web team doing this whole medley of things properly and skillfully and then working on it weekly, then that is your inexpensive dollar. That is your best marketing dollar to spend. You want to be as high as possible on as many organic keywords as you can in the search rankings. The very top of the screen is paid. The little side is paid. Sometimes there's some on the bottom. And then you'll see some mapping or organic up here depending, and then organic. So it's either paid, mapping, organic, or it's paid, organic, and no map. And so the stuff in the middle is what you want to be vying for. You can pay for this and that, but if you get organic and mapping, our average client's about 4 or 5 times less expensive than pay-per-click. I have some that are 10 or 15 times less expensive, so they spend 10 cents on the dollar relative to paying for each and every click. So organic and mapping through a great web team of doing a unique design, fantastic content, setting up your blog and your social media and your Google account, and doing all this stuff properly up front and then working on it every week. Remember, it's just logical. If you were the search engine, would you favor somebody that set up a site and then dropped it like a hot potato? If the site was set up really well and done well, it's still a great site. Or if it's set up poorly, forget about it. But you have a great site set up and then you just don't work on it. You don't do anything to it. You never tend to it, never sweep the floor, never put any new magazines on the table. You treat it like, you kind of look at this like a retail business online. It's your storefront. So if you don't tend to it, it's not good, and then your keywords just slowly sink. And when you'll watch it happen month after month, they'll go down until they're on the second page, then you don't get as many clicks as your clicks cut by 80–90%, and then it doesn't work. So that is proper work. That is where the money's at. That is why you want to have a web team And the first two things you do is organic and mapping, and the whole cohesive effort brings it together. You work on it regularly and pay happily because you're getting such a great return. That's what a web presence ought to do for you. That's what your web team ought to do for you. And that's where your web marketing dollars should first be spent. A little credibility on me. I was a business owner, got messed around by a web company back in 2005. Yes, the clicks were $1 back then. Yes, by 2010, we were paying $10. And yes, we much enjoyed our organic and our mapping. I understand the receiving end of this. I understand that I want all of it for my business. It must be done legitimately. It must please Google. It must be a great web presence. And if you do this properly, then you'll get rewarded properly through merit of a properly done website and web presence. And yes, the organic and the mapping is going to be a great return and something that you're happy that you invested in for your marketing dollar. And not only that, it'll take your company in years and give you a proper return on your dollar, which will help you have a thriving business. Give us a call. We'd love to be of service. Call. You can talk to me. You can talk to anybody up here. And we have happy clients all over the nation. We look forward to being of service.